Because you mentioned like the top gets bigger with empires, and you start taking things for granted. Is some of this just human nature? So the concern with China, with autocratic nations, the concern with the Third Reich, the Soviet Union, was that fundamentally at the individual level, the humans involved at the top, they're starting to lose touch with reality in a way that no longer makes them. I guess that's the representation of the flexibility that you're referring to.
Well, I mean, in a democracy, you could change. You can go as far left or as far right. You can change the leaders easily, and so the people don't become. They pretty much only have themselves to blame.
Yeah.
And one of the problems of that is they may not choose the best leaders. But they have that flexibility. So vote and you get what you wanted. In the case of the autocratic, let's say, leaders, and then the movement from democracies to autocracies, what you see normally, that movement is that one of the systems is not working. Let's say the democracy is not effectively. Everybody's arguing with each other and nobody's getting anything done. And like Mussolini, the trains are not running on time, and that would be the example. Geez, place has gotten chaotic. Will somebody get into control? And then you get the autocratic, and then he's autocratic enough to boss people around. And then you follow those kinds of orders, and it's like maybe a CEO in a powerful company going around, and that could work well or it could work badly. Most companies are run as like autocracies in a sense. There's the hierarchy and the command economy and that kind of thing, and that can work well or not. But then quite often when you get the populist autocratic, their personality is something that they want to fight, and they become more nationalistic, and they tend to become more militaristic. And human nature at that stage lends itself to fighting. There's an arc here that when we think we think of a country, and we say and we think of a country, it's not true. It's not like that. There are individuals who change. One generation dies and another generation comes along. And one of those arcs is that the ones who have been through war don't want to go to war and are more happily, willing to abide by whatever the rules are. As you get farther along into that cycle and you get a new generation and they forget about wars and the horrors of wars, then they want to fight. And so you're seeing right now the emergence of fight for right. And what that means is you see it internally, fight, where are you, and fight for that thing. And they mean fight. And then externally, fight. Are you going to be the strong one who will fight and win? And that develops on both sides, this fight and win. And each side is cheering each other on into a war. But that comes by those who really have not experienced war because it comes in their part of their lifetime.
Humans are fascinating.
Humans are fascinating. And by the way, human nature has not changed over the thousands of years. So it's so interesting because, like, in doing this study, and it comes across in the study, it's like watching the same movie over and over again. You see the arc, and you see it happen over and over again. The only things that seem to change are the clothes people wear and the technologies they use.
Yeah, and then somebody probably will disagree with you about the clothes. Maybe there's also cycles within fashions. Maybe we're not even creative there.